I've got something a little different for you today. A look at the recent mudlarking exhibition at historic Watermen's Hall in the City of London. Before we get stuck in, I wanted to show you a few of the painted backboards of Thames skiffs, the later incarnation of a wherry, adorning the walls of this 18th century livery hall. Neat, huh? I've already done a video about Watermen's Hall and their own collection, so if you want to see that, I'll put the link in the video description. Now, as we're at the home of both the Worshipful Company of Watermen and Lightermen and the Doggett's Coat and Badge Race, of which I will do a dedicated video another time, I couldn't resist sharing this photo of the 1906 winners. Hi guys, I am at Watermen's Hall today and it is the first hands-on history exhibition of the year, so come with me to check it out. I'm just going to do an unscripted director's commentary of what I see on the screen because there is so much, so many mudlarks, so many finds, so hopefully I've retained all the information in my mind, in my little brain. As I watch this video back with you, I will give you a run through of what all the finds are. I've focused on some different mudlarks this time. We've got some newer people in the fold, so you'll see what they've brought along with them. There's some amazing stuff coming up. Now, first up, we've got Fran, and I particularly like the way she displays her beads and her glass prunts. Look at them here attached to this glass. Now, they would have looked a little bit like this. As you know, they're to stop the glass slipping through greasy fingers when we didn't use knives and forks. Next up, we've got Angela. So Angela, this is her first year of exhibiting and she has some really amazing stuff. I'm going to walk you through a few of my favourite finds of hers. First up is Alessio's head. You may remember Billy Bond, the sculptor, has made some new sculptures of mudlarks finding their finds, and their heads have been transposed with their finds. You can see these pieces of work at the Museum of London's year-long exhibition that opens in April, runs until March next year. Billy Bond's sculptural artworks are going to be in there. Well, sculptures are going to be in there. So the story to Alessio's head is that Billy, during the making of these sculptures, also created some, I don't know if they were maquettes, but some extras. Let's say they were little extra heads. And she put them into the Thames for people to find. So this is Alessio's head that went into the Thames, and lo and behold, Angela found it. And now here is his head displayed in a hands-on history exhibition. So it's this meeting of the art and mudlarking world. It's very cool. Next, we've got some bits and pieces here, just some lovely buttons and beads and cufflinks, gorgeous stuff, and some pottery, some slipware, some Staffordshire slipware, earlier slipware. We've got some redware, some Delftware, and some handles there. And this, oh, you know me. Yes, it looks kind of ugly, but I am a sucker for these huge chunks of stoneware pottery, and this is kiln furniture. It would have sat inside the kiln to separate pieces that were being fired. It's stoneware, and you can see me jiggling it around there. I'm trying to find exactly how the potter squelched that into shape in their scrunched fist. And here's another type of stoneware separator for the kiln, a little bobble there. So here we go, guess the footprint. So you know we all love footprints in tiles. Here we've clearly got dog, I think dog again. Next one is the strange one. Now this is an odd one. It was sent Okay, we'll go to the cat. So there's a cat or a kitten. Looks like a tiny kitten there. So we've got a little dainty kitten's footprint. Now, going back to this one in the middle, or the one next to the kitten, it is actually the footprint of a tawny owl mid-hunting. So this owl would have been perched down here hunting something like a vole, which was in turn hunting all the little insects that gathered around these clays, these tiles as they were drying. We know it's a tawny owl because Angela sent an image of this tile off to a zooarchaeologist or similar Angela, and they confirmed, yes, tawny owl. So that's a really cool print in a tile. What else? We've got some bits and bobs, you know, the general. Oh, now, I can't believe she found this thing here. You can see what I'm looking at. This whopper of a key. Or is it? Is it a key? Well, no, it's not actually. Here's Angela demonstrating what it is now. It's a barrel padlock. So Graham de Home, the sort of like keys, locks, medieval and so on finds experts, knife expert, he had a look at this. He was really excited. Now, we thought this barrel lock had this this barrel padlock had these additions put on. So the bit at the end I'm pointing to and the ward key piece. We thought perhaps they were put on later. So it was initially a barrel padlock with those additions. Graham says not so. Maybe it was made that way. But the actual key, the ward key bit, isn't a functioning thing. It's decorative. The loop at the end, don't know, for suspension. But yeah, that's a barrel padlock made to look like a key. Jury's out on age. We will find out. So, who is up next? Here we go. This, I know, is Peter's collection. Lovely Peter. Okay, so Peter has exhibited with us before, and here are some of his lovely bits and pieces. He's got some great stuff, some gorgeous Roman, but it's this badge. I was really interested in the pilgrim badge of Our Lady of Willesden. Yes, you heard that right, Our Lady of Willesden. I had no idea that we had this pilgrim badge for someone that we celebrated in Willesden. So yeah, fantastic find, Peter. Thank you for alerting me to Our Lady of Willesden, who is in fact just a few miles up the road from me in northwest London. I will be doing a little pilgrimage of my own to her site. Next up, we've got Flora. Now, I don't think Flora's exhibited with us before, so I was so pleased to look at her objects. She has some beautiful items, those little lead toys especially, but it was this. You know I'm a sucker for a bone knife handle, and my goodness, I love a snake. So look at this beautifully carved handle here. Flowers with that lovely light colour in the middle of the petal there and on the other side. And there's a snake with those little eyes wrapped all the way around this knife handle. A gorgeous, gorgeous thing. Really love it. Post-medieval in date. And she has some other fantastic examples too, including this seal matrix, which I also love. It's got RR there, so who knows? Ryan Reynolds, perhaps. And it's got some stars above and below. This is a kind of a poor man's seal, not silver or anything like that, but beautiful. So back to her other bits and bobs. Flora also has an interesting pilgrim badge, the Cult of John Sean. So love that. And this Catherine of Braganza and Charles II ring is a beautiful thing too. Next, we're on to Elle. And I just wanted to give an overview of Ellie's table of all her finds here, because she has the most exquisite handwriting, and when she shares her finds on Instagram, she kind of notes where she found things and what she's done with them, and it's just really pretty. So go and have a look at her Instagram page, and then she's got some button blanks there with some death's head buttons next to them. It's all very well curated, and I love this effigy coming up here, this votive of the Virgin Mary alongside the glasses with the lights in. It's so nicely considered. And yeah, I mean, I didn't stop to sort of go through any particular thing because I just loved everything as a whole that she's exhibited here. She also exhibits over at Southwark quite frequently, I think, so you might be able to check her out there later in the year, and she's possibly exhibiting with us again later in the year, so I will keep you posted. Next up, we've got Nunneley. Again, beautiful display. I love the way it's this kind of old-fashioned museum, Pitt Rivers style display cabinets. Big shout out here to the Landrovers Podcast. I suggested they get on to speak to Nunneley because she found one of those cool things that Richard Henry also found, part of a medieval crossbow made out of antler bone. Richard's got a video on that, so I will link to it in the video description. Next on, it's Crawford, and some gorgeous Roman finds, some prehistoric flint finds, and some bone dye there. Landrovers Podcast again, they jumped on to Crawford to interview him about some of his finds. Check out their podcast, actually, I'll link to that in the video description, but look at these beautifully laid out items again, really gorgeous finds. Here we've got Sean Clark, he of the many trade tokens and bone dice. Sean has just a brilliant lot of finds. These beads, look at the way he lays them out. It's kind of forensic in their layout, but you can just see how much time and consideration he puts into displaying all this stuff. And Sean did a brilliant talk for us, which I shared on my channel. Next up, we've got Emma. Again, lots of little bits, which is good for me. And some gorgeous faces there, some Bartman faces, some marbles. But the thing that really caught my eye of Emma's is this little display in the pot shard fragment. I think it's the colours that's so complementary that brought it together for me, but these bead displays, absolutely beautiful. Loved this from Emma. She also said, oh, by the way, I've got this to show you, and pulled out this jeton, which came out of the Thames mud looking just like this. It's kind of like that Thames gilding effect. When these jetons come out, they are so golden. Great to look at. And look at the relief on there. Beautiful. You can see everything. So here are some more of Emma's finds, some bone dice, and pipes and bits and bobs. Next up, we have got Susan. Now, remember the video about the shycock I did a while ago? Here's one of those big uns. So the progression of the shycock, remember I did the video and I also shared on my Patreon that they started off with real cocks that people threw weighted sticks at, and then the game when people suddenly grew a conscience, developed into knocking these ceramic shycocks over, and then it progressed again into the small lead shycocks, one of which I found recently, but there you go. I wonder if it's missing its head because it was actually knocked off during the game, or if it's just missing its head. What else have we got here? Good old dress accessories. I can see dress hooks. I can see buckles and buttons. And here we've got some other bits that Susan has found. So they're pilgrim badges there, and it's often said, exit through the gift shop, because you buy your pilgrim badge at the end of a pilgrimage. But this here is actually a chivalry badge. So this, even though it looks like a pilgrim badge, it's a tiny bit different. It's actually, I guess it's kind of it's the same sort of thing as a pilgrim badge, same material, but it's a chivalry badge. So you used to wear these to say, hey, I'm a chivalrous person, or I'm looking for love with a chivalrous person. So there's the complete thing, and that was the little face from it. Susan's got many little finds. Look at that kitten in a boot there, suspension, so probably for a necklace. Love this. This is my bread and butter, these tiny metal finds. You know me, I love them. Susan has 2 or 3 particularly amazing finds. There's one I'm just hovering around here. It's the ampulla. It's the pilgrim ampulla. And then she also had a fantastic porringer. I'm not sure if I've recorded that or not. Okay, let's go on to Jessica Ford. So Jessica is a mudlark, but she also was recently searching Clapham Common, so she was given permission to dig there, and she found this ring, which is probably late 19th, early 20th century. It's glass, green glass, adjustable ring, but there are various bits and bobs she found on the common. And I'm just laughing at me, wiggling my fingers there, looking at what to pick up next. Gorgeous Southwestern badge, Southwestern Rail, which we get today. I take the train with Southwestern frequently, but there you go. Now, if you look at Jessica's Instagram account, which I will link, you can see a bit of a backstory on all these buttons and various finds from Clapham Common. The next one I'm going to show you, I was quite proud because I did guess what it was. She handed me this bottle-looking thing and said, I want you to tell me what it is. I said, it's a dummy. It is a dummy. It's a drill projectile. So this is a Northover projector drill projectile. So when they were practicing on Clapham Common, I think in the Second World War, they were using these projectiles to practice. Here we go. This is also a Clapham Common find. Gorgeous. So Jessica showed me some footage of her digging it up, and there was just a bit of lip peeping out, I think, but this Victorian Rawlings stoneware bottle with the print on there. I mean, what a good thing. So yeah, finds from the foreshore and finds from Clapham Common. Lots of flint finds there as well. Jessica has also found this beautiful, I love this, the Rendezvous. And this is a Soho relic here. So this was for the Rendezvous restaurant, and if you want to pause to read this, you can, but it was on Dean Street, I think, from memory. Yeah, the Rendezvous in Dean Street. So there's a Soho story. Again, from Jessica, some more lovely little metal finds. That is a really great thing there. It is actually a communion token, a bit older in date than the one I found, or a bit earlier in date than the one I found, with a bit more decoration on there, but NE it looks like. Here we go, Kristina. Kristina is a marvel at cleaning things, so although the enamel is missing from this German turn-of-the-century brooch, the silver on that has shined up beautifully, so... Yeah, you can see me yoinking my finger in there and poking at stuff. She has fantastic displays. Again, Kristina has lots of supporting materials when she exhibits her finds. And again, look at these beautiful coins. She's got them so clean. I love it. Not everybody likes a sparkling coin, but I do. Off to Caroline Nunneley. Now, Caroline, you will know, possibly, is she of the amazing Memento Mori bead, which is going into a London Museum's year-long exhibition, which is why she doesn't have it on display here today. So there's that bead. I'll stick a photo up on the screen. But look at this Delftware tile she found. I love it. I featured this one before. She has amazing finds. There's another gorgeous Delftware tile there, and this beautiful mount of some kind, and the initials there, if you look carefully, there's a little A and a larger A, so AA and then C, and it means A loves C or C loves A, so it's A Amat C. That's why the double A, I think, if I remember correctly, that's what it is, with a lion's head there. And it kind of looks like they're zoomorphic projectiles on the left and right, but I don't think they are. They're just a nice little detail, but you can see the AAC very clearly there. And some beads of Caroline, some Roman and Saxon beads. Yeah, they're really beautiful. I love the little projected bobbles on the actual bead. Really notoriously hard to get beads recorded because they're very difficult to date. So you can have a good stab at, what the date is and where they've come from, but yeah, hard to get them dated. Okay, now we've got Monika. And I've featured her lots of times before, but there's a couple of new things or things I haven't featured that I wanted to show you. Obviously, that toy plate or dripping pan is beautiful, but that there that I just went past, wind back, that is a marzipan mould, a really cool thing. Now, Monika has all these beautiful glass trinket jars for her finds, which I love. So it's all part and parcel of the experience of looking at her finds. There's something I do want to show you. Here it is. Any guesses on what this is? I think I'll be forgiven for revealing what it is. And there's lovely Geoffrey Munn there. He comes to all our exhibitions and will be doing a talk for us later in the year. This object, if you want to take a guess at what it is, I will let you know later on in the video. So here we've got a weight there, which is, I think one scruple is 20 grains of barley. So Monika is demonstrating there how much that weight weighs by putting the grains of barley in. Love that little boot I just looked at, that shoe, that pipe clay shoe. And then, yeah, all these little stoneware pieces. Really, really pretty to see everything gathered together like this. Oh, the Jaws harps as well. Yes, another lovely thing. Charlie Dixon, here we go. Now, I think I've shown this before, but who on earth finds this in the Thames? Well, Charlie does. Look at that salt-glazed Bartman with the beautiful cartouches and the face. Now, I realised I was looking at all of Charlie's things because he has so many amazing things. And then I looked up and I thought, God, I'm not even looking at that. I didn't even know. I kind of forgot that was there, but look at the size of this. So Charlie found this in various pieces and kept going back and finding more, and he managed to put it together in the end. But what a whopper. I mean, I don't think I've seen another like it. Here is another piece of stoneware that I love, ID'd by Richard Henry. This is Charlie's again, and you can see here this tantalising, there's the figure on the right is missing. And I said, do you think it will be the same as the figure on the left? And he said, no, look closely at the arms. So it looks like it's a more masculine figure on the right there. Next, we're on to Mudlark Liz. And yes, the one thing I was concentrated on here is this bag hook, this two-prong bag hook that a stevedore or, a dock worker would have used. We don't find that many of these, which is funny because there were so many stevedores, so many dockers. And I was saying to Liz, I wonder how many of them kept their hooks, after a lifetime of work. She let me pick it up, and I didn't want to handle it too much because I was scared of damaging it, bit heavy-handed, you know me. It's just incredible to think that years and years of this, a docker's hand would have been wrapped around the end of the handle there, moulding over time to their own touch, and how they handled that hook. Here we've got a die, but it's not a bone dice. This is, in fact, Bakelite. Love a bit of early 20th plastic. And alongside that, we've got some other gaming pieces here on what appears to be a crudely fashioned gaming board. I'm pointing something out here because I love it. There. That is a piece of pipe kiln furniture. So it's wasters from the kiln. Those bits of old pipe are moulded together, chucked in to make ventilation and spacing for clay pipes. Now this thing, I fell in love with it. Relatively modern find. But you couldn't ask for more, could you? But you could ask for Allsops. It's an ashtray, and I think Allsops was a beer. Yeah, this is brilliant. Look how much information on there. So, the property of Samuel Allsop. Fantastic find. I absolutely love that. It was so heavy. I was really careful when handling it because I could imagine just dropping it and it's smashing through the rest of her finds. And here, map of Britain, where these finds were made. Great to give context. Going on to Lesley now. Lesley has got some really fab finds. I think this is the first time she's exhibited with us. Yeah, some really good post-medieval shards there. But then also some lovely bone items. And Lesley, I featured before one of her pipes, which is fantastic. Now we're going on to Bolly, the woman of the hour. You will remember, perhaps, I think I've done a bit about it, the ring that Bolly found. This is a replica. So Bolly found that beautiful solid gold gauntlet or glove ring with an amethyst, and it's 16th century, amazing thing. Here it is. Now that is going to be in the London Museum exhibition, not permanently, so it'll be on show sometimes and sometimes not. I'll update you here as to when it's going to be there. I think Bolly, there she is going to be showing that ring there. Yeah, so she had that replica made by Wendy Meister, who is a mudlark and a brilliant jeweller. I love this thing so much. Almost as much as the ring, in fact. This is actually a Saxon stone cresset lamp. And you can see when you look down into it, there are some scorch marks in there. It's such a cool thing. I don't know if I'd prefer to own the ring or the cresset lamp. Bolly found them both, and they are both fantastic. Really super finds. Bolly also did this brilliant thing where she displays her beads as a kaleidoscope. So do you want to have a look and see what that might be like? Here we go. We're in the bead kaleidoscope. So she's made this, Bolly's made this herself, and after a little practice, it should actually line up. She's going to turn it while I'm looking down with my camera, and there you go. Thames found beads repurposed as a kaleidoscope. and round it spins. And these are all little seed beads and maybe slightly bigger than seed. But yeah, what a great way to display these Thames finds. I think top marks for that. Laura and Millie showing together on a table, and we've got some lovely bits and bobs in the cabinets, the usual really nice mudlarking fare that you want to see. Nice buckle there, in fact, and some buttons, cufflinks, that kind of stuff. Really good chunks of pottery shards there. The thing that I also love about Laura and Millie's exhibition is that they have this embroidery going on, this embroidery theme. So here is Millie's machine embroidered map of London. I think it's the Roke map that she's used here, but if you want to pause the video and have a look at the detail. And just on this embroidered map, we've got in a scallop shell Sean Clark's Pilgrim's badge, the scallop that Millie, who is actually from Compostela, took that scallop, which is the Compostela Pilgrim badge, all the way over to Spain and had it blessed while she was there. Check out the talk that Sean gave that I've released a video of, and you will see the badge and hear the story about that. This is a really interesting piece of German glass, actually. I think maybe the only one that's come up on the Thames. Really lovely piece. Moving on now to Angela and Tibor, and boy, do they have some super finds. Okay, they speak for themselves. Buttons, mounts, buckles, pins. We like a pin, right? But then it just gets better. This beautiful piece of Delftware and the reference piece next to it. We've got all this lovely chunky naval dockyard hardware that has been buffed and shined up to look absolutely beautiful. I meant to ask if Tibor actually flattened those pieces, because it's got all that funny stippling in the copper sheathing. And look, I haven't even mentioned that Bartman jar, but that's another nice thing there. Tons and tons of lovely things. Now, something over here, oh gosh, we need to mention that base there of the Sagar, and all of these porringer handles, these Delftware squiggly wiggly handles, clay pipes, glass. You see the leather thing? Monika did some restoration on that. There's another leather thing beneath. Second one below, definitely a sword scabbard. Almost definitely. I'm saying this from memory. Okay, we're leaving that for a minute, obviously, and we're going over to this little cup or tankard. I think it's a tankard there, which has some really refined detailing on. Pause the video and have a look closely. Now we're going back round. There's a costrel neck I can see. I think it's because I'm trying to get a peep at this leather here, but I didn't want to yeet anyone out of the way. Yeah, just pulls out that fantastic pipe. Of course, no big deal. Okay, let's get back to some more little metal finds and a glass bottle seal there. Again, fantastic stuff. I love that Memento Mori mount. And then beneath it you can see that bone sort of beehive thing. What a cool thing. Here we are, back to the leather. It's a proposed sword scabbard, so medieval, 14th, 15th century. It's been beautifully restored by Monika. Tibor let me hold it, and it's just alive. It's a piece of leather, obviously, dead cow, but it's alive. It's in the fabric. They're not entirely 100% sure, but proposed scabbard. So I'm just drifting here because I'm looking at all their lovely things. You can see what they are there because they're all perfectly labelled. We've got some more bits, and look at the seahorses in there. Sadly, we find dead seahorses in quantities on the Thames. And there are the Thames 3-hold buttons, which I just did a post about on my Patreon site if you want a long read of a Thames mystery. We're over to Christopher. Christopher is lovely. He's probably one of the youngest mudlarks. There might be younger mudlarks, we know, but lovely chap, still in school. And here are some of his finds. He finds some really amazing stuff, actually, and along with his mum, displays these things beautifully with some real consideration. Look at those lovely bone bodkin. I think they're bodkin pieces, or maybe ear scoops. Nice boar's tusk there. And look, he's very cleverly filled it with resin so it doesn't split like all of mine. Smart guy, Christopher, very good. So moving through his finds, we've got lots of bone bits and nice toothpaste lid, actually at the back there. Some great pipes and a good case of Roman pottery there actually. We're off to Square Petal Land. I love how she has laid out her table. I had lots of questions about her finds and how it's all laid out. And again, like Elle, who you saw earlier, Square Petal has laid out her table in a wonderful way. And what she's done with some of her finds is tried to recreate. So you've got this Peter Bruegel peasant wedding painting here. She's tried to recreate the basket of the Raren or the Siegberg stoneware. Love that. And then also, if you look here, this tiny shard of pottery which features a woman and a bird. Square Petal's gone back and used picture reference to work out and go on this journey of who might have made this and where it came from. Really fantastic. Do go and check out her Instagram page because it has lots more information on there. But yeah, we've got this woman on the pottery here with the bird, possibly a popinjay or a parrot, and then we've got the painting reference here, and all around it we've got other bits of information and sort of showing her working out that I so loved with this display. Every find here tells a story, and Square Petals has told that story so well. Love it. Next up, we've got Sarah. I was really taken with a couple of finds on here. You might not have guessed which ones they were because Sarah's actually got a brilliant Roman intaglio. She has some really great stuff. Look at the top of that Bartman there, which is sitting on a knitted Bartman jug. But the thing that really caught my eye was this piece of coral, because it looks like something else. When you turn it to the side, sure enough, you can see it's a sliver, a kind of rounded sliver of coral. But from the top, it's got this man-made, almost plasticky kind of like earphone or mesh or netting. Anyway, I loved that. I don't know why I was so taken with it, but I spent a silly amount of time looking at it. And Sarah's got loads of Roman glass here, perhaps not all 100% Roman, but came from a Roman area, almost certainly Roman. And she's displayed quite a lot of her Roman finds in this way, beautiful way. Yeah, look there, you can see she's got a tile with a Roman hobnail print on it. So that's a pretty special thing. She was telling me that she really wants a nice animal print, but hey, she's got this Roman hobnail print, and I think she did have another tile with she's got a goat. That's it. So cool. A later medieval tile with a goat print in. I mean, you know, that's really cool. I love seeing these little boxes full of all the bits and pieces, the little tiny things. There's the goat tile again. Yeah, I was taken with that too. It's just so, I love the impression it's made. You can almost imagine touching that kind of, you know, goat claw nail. So we go on to Stuart Mudlark, and he has some really choice pipes. Love his finds. He has some, you know, nice pot related things and some, you know, ceramic pot things and some teeth and whatnot. But I love these pipes. They are so good. He's had, I don't know, is it luck or is it just his amazing eye? But if you like a pipe, you're sure to like these. Sam Willoughby next. Okay, so Sam's gone it's very sort of natural sea and water and woody kind of display. Really liked this. Again, it's one of those, I like the overall feel of it. Lots of good stuff here. Buttons and metal bits and bobs and bullets and pipes. Nice red antediluvian order of buffalo pipes there. This, I love it. It's a penny lick. So this would have been used again and again. You get a penny's worth of ice cream, a little lick of ice cream, scooped onto the end there. You give it a lick, you eat your ice cream, or you pay your penny, eat your ice cream, then you pass the glass back. Don't know if it gets cleaned, but another dollop goes on for the next person who pays their penny and has a lick. Here we've got Tom Harvey, who has probably, I don't know if it's my most favourite find of the whole exhibition, but it might be, because I've never seen one before. I've never handled one before. It's coming up in a minute, so let's just take a moment to look at some of these finds, because, yeah, amazing. I think I've done really well actually not using any profanities as I'm going through here, because some of these things are cracking. That coin there, for example. So yeah, let's take a little whiz round his coins and other bits and pieces. That's a coin weight actually, that heavy gold thing there, which is rather nice. And so he's going to get this coin weight out for us to have a look at. Really chunky, like a modern pound coin, but heavier. Let me get a good look at that there. Big fan of the coin weight. And so here, just a whiz round, and we're coming up to the showpiece, the big number that I like. Not the bottles. It's not. I mean, I do like them, but that's not the thing that so caught my attention. Fossils, gorgeous, bits and bobs. Here it is. This is an absolute beauty. It's a cobbler's tool made from bone, obviously. The patina is there, the feel is there, it's beautiful. Now this tool was used for trimming leather around a shoe. Now you look at one end there, the base, so I love this, the little teeth for scraping, absolutely love that, love the decoration. You go to the other end and you see that there's some incisions. It's not broken, it's actually, if I ever actually position it properly so we can see it, here we go. Tom to the rescue. That there that he's demonstrating, he's just taking it away to demonstrate it, is for whizzing round the end, I think the heel of the shoe, to trim and I don't know what else. Do push the leather in maybe. It's such a cool thing. I love it. We find fids, we find splices, but this thing and these 3 notches on the back, I love it. What was that, for holding something, or is that just decoration? Or did some thread go through? Don't know. Yeah, I'd say that was my favourite find of the entire 3 days possibly. Is it? I might get back to you on it. I think it is. This also, gorgeous piece of Delftware. Look at that base. Love it. I guess some kind of like tatza or vessel, some vase. I don't think it's a candlestick. I think that's a vase. Now here we go. This is the last mudlark I'm showing, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. This is Rosie Barker. Now she has some amazing pipes. But first I want to look at the mockaware with the dendritic patterns there. Really gorgeous. She has some great pot shards, really nice substantial pieces of mockaware there. And then she's got some, various odds and sods, but it's the pipes. There was one pipe that I was really taken with. Gorgeous slipware, lots and lots of slipware. And it's her pipes really as well. Here's the pipe I was taken with. It's the Joseph Grimaldi pipe. So we've got St. George and the Dragon, Huntsman, Garibaldi, but yeah, the Grimaldi clown pipe, that's the one that was doing it for me. And I think in the next little clip, you can see it open in the case. There we go. Love that. Lastly, I'm going to reveal to you what Monika's find is. So here we go into that strange find. Did any of you guess what it is? Well, if you thought it was a hoe, it is a hoe, but it's not a garden hoe. It's actually something to do with the sewers of old London town. It's a tosher's hoe, a tosher being someone who their job was to search the sewers for valuables, so coins and bits and bobs that fall down the sewers, a bit like mudlarks, but actually they were not as low down the pecking order as mudlarks. So Henry Mayhew wrote about toshers in the 19th century, and yeah, they were kind of like mudlarks but not. They were considered a bit higher in station. They would go through the sewers searching for whatever they could find, and this is the implement they used to get into those little corners and nooks and crannies to get out the valuables they would go on to sell. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video, the roundup of the 3 days exhibition at Watermen's Hall, and I will see you soon for another dose of mudlarking. I've got a special video coming up with sci-finds, and also do check out the video of Sean Clark's talk, which is already up on my YouTube channel. Until next time, see ya!